Next in this line is TSR Technical Strength Indicator. Now this is something which is our own proprietary. We'll have a complete separate sections or session for this one. But to give you a brief overview of this thing is, you go to TSR Strength Index, you can always find the stocks which are most bullish on any tick. For example, on 15 minutes tick, not too many. So on maybe let's go into the EOD tick, right? So if you look, ZF Commercial looks very bullish. You can sort by ranking also. A page we did before. So let's go into Nuvoco Vitas, right? So these are the stocks. If you look at the stocks, these are really going up. That's what we try to capture. If you go with a typical indicator, let's say RSI or a moving average or a Ichimoku or a double top or double bottom, it covers only one aspect. What we try to do here is we try to cover many aspects for you before we say that this is one of the good stocks, right? Again, guys, note that these are all based on historical patterns, right? Nobody can predict how the stock is going to be tomorrow, right? So keep that in mind. It only based on the historical pattern that what looks most bullish and which is doing pretty good, right? So we cover quite a few technical indicators. We cover a lot of basically chart patterns, support resistance before we calculate which stocks is more bullish compared to the other ones. Again, you can use on any of the tick that you feel depending on your time horizon. You can pick 5 minutes all the way to monthly tick. On monthly tick, Uflex looks good. Let's see how Uflex is, or maybe Coromandel looks even better. Right? Let's look at the Coromandel. So on monthly tick, if you see, it's pretty much rising. So if you are more like a slightly long term, you might want to use monthly tick. Okay, next in.
Would it be possible to get
from that? You can look at financial strength, growth, valuation. So let's say if you're looking at growth stocks or maybe more on the value stocks, right? So which is where you can get more of this thing. So you get the overall rank on this. So Shyam Metalics looks good. It has good value. It has good growth, good stability, and good profitability. Not a very common thing to note. Rail Vikas Nigam again looks like from growth it looks very good, but from stability and growth it does not look very good, right? And also it's mild bearish. So when you go into individual stocks, then you'll find more information about it, see where it is. So in terms of value, it is good value, but in other aspects it's not so good, right? Why it is good at value is some of the valuation stuff looks green over here, right? So that's why it is becoming more value. And apart from this, we use a lot more other parameters. If you look at the profitability, you have certain greens, certain reds. That's why you see that overall profitability is not so good, right? Similarly, if you're looking at the solvency perspective, certain green, certain red, right? So overall, when we try to get all the factors together, the stability, the profit, and the growth is not so good. But from valuation perspective, it is very good. So similarly, you can go and look at the other TSR Strength Index, profitability, stability. I'll leave it to you guys to play with it. Fair value. Now, fair value, we have quite a few fair values in the system. Now, this is again sort of proprietary for us. Of course, discounted cash flow or excess return model, these are pretty standard. But what we do is we have our own implementation of that based on the certain standards which is practiced globally. We have our own customized version of it. So feel free to use it. So if you see that certain stocks which are below fair value is where what you should be looking at it is like it is low value stock, right? Price to fair value. Bajaj Auto looks one of the good stocks. UTI Asset Management, and there are few things which are just at the fair value level. When you look at this, the L&T Finance Holding price by fair value is on a different level, right? So you just play with the system to see which one suits your requirement. Depending on what you prefer, free cash flow or EBITDA model or revenue model or excess return model, then we have quite 6-7 models available here. Price below fair value, price within 10% of fair value is what I generally prefer. Because a lot of times the stocks with much lower fair value, price below, generally goes with a bad news of the company. It could be management disaster, or it could be any scam, or I don't know what, or product failure, or a very bad result. It's one of the things. So if you see that the price is 10% of the fair value, then go with certain caution, right? Why it is that? Go look at the news, watch news channels. Otherwise, price within 10% of fair value is something which will give you much better quality results. So that's I'll leave it to you guys how you want to use it. These are the tools available to you. One thing is what we'll be covering is relative strength. Other than that, we have covered pretty much on that. So let's say you are looking at, let's do it in the custom schema. Go to strength. Now, let's say you're looking at relative strength vis-a-vis Nifty. So any stock which is giving you a better returns than Nifty, you go here and then run it. Or instead of Nifty 50, let's say you want to go into Nifty Bank, let's say, all stocks. Nifty. So these are the stocks which is giving results better than Nifty, Bank Nifty, right? And if you want to restrict it to banking stocks, click here, go to sector, financial sector, let's go here, right? So these are the stocks which are doing better than, okay, sorry, financial. Yeah, all the financial stocks are here, right? So these are the stocks which are doing better than Bank Nifty in 1 year period, right? So that's how you can really see that how your stock vis-a-vis a particular index is behaving. All right. So that pretty much covers everything. Heikinashi, open is equal to low. We'll cover in subsequent session, Vijay, because we are running out of time, far beyond the time. So, and this being a purely an overview, we'll cover all these things in much greater details. Have your questions ready with all your screeners or strategies for this Saturday. We'll cover them. Knowledge sharing, we have tutorials. Feel free to go to tutorial.topstockresearch.com to know more about the stuff. We'll have a lot of sessions like this. And we have a suite of videos in the YouTube. Click on this thing. We'll share this presentation to you guys shortly. And where you can go and click on the YouTube videos that we are creating. Our objective is to create about 100 videos by end of the year, right? So that covers pretty much about the overview of the product. So if you like it, subscribe our YouTubes where you'll get continuously update. Keep visiting the product. We do a lot of presentation. We do a lot of enhancement in the system. So we get few compliments. Thank you guys for taking time and pain of writing back that you like the sessions. Thank you everyone. I won't be able to give you each one of you individual name at this time, but definitely this is something we appreciate doing it. Apart from creating good product, we want to give basically the knowledge of the product to you guys, and we'll be doing it very, very often. Right? For any support, feel free to call us on these numbers. One of our expert will be very, very happy to support you in taking your query forward. Right?